All right. Good morning, SpeedGaming 2, and everyone watching. My name is Dr. Mike, and I'm here today to present to you some brand new races in the ALTTPR main tournament. With me, we got Smirk. How's it going, Smirk?
Not too bad. I'm really excited. I love watching both of these guys race, so I'm really excited to watch this today. I believe they have already played their first game, as you were saying, and Julo won, so this is rematch. And today we have Fad Keys, if I'm not mistaken. How are you, Mike?
I'm good. I'm excited. Sen is my teammate in the ALTTPR league,
That's
so
right, last locationeers, right?
exactly. So I'll be a little bit biased, but I always like even games. I'm always rooting for even games here. Julloninja has been on the scene for quite some time and is famous for his unorthodox routing. We'll see if we get some of that today. And Fad Keys is an interesting one. You gotta basically full clear the game efficiently. You don't want to double dip too many dungeons. I don't know if it's Jolo's strength or not. I think Sen is little bit more comfortable versus Jolo in this particular mode, but we'll
Okay.
see.
And they're off. Looks like we already have two different starts. Getting a pod key there and in Link's house and $20 in the sanctuary. Um, Regarding FAD keys, it stands for faux AD keys, right? So what exactly does that mean in terms of the mode? In case there's anybody new that's watching.
Well, in terms of the foils, that some of the dungeons don't have wild keys, and those dungeons are Castle Tower has its own small keys, and the GT big key is in GT. Every other key, map, and compass is shuffled into everywhere.
Well, thank you for that explanation. That is something I always forget that GT Big Key is in GT. Even in Fat Keys, I'm always like, I've still got to find the GT Big Key. But then,
Well, originally, Fad Keys was just the Castle Tower smalls. So this is a recent addition
oh, okay,
for
that's probably why.
this year's. So I like to call it double Fad Keys
Double
or
Fat Keys.
FF Keys.
I like FF Keys. FF Keys is good. Okay, so Zen found bombs on the bush crab. I think Julo did a tier 1 tree pull, but it didn't work. Nothing came out of the tree.
Maybe Jolo didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, I guess. And he
Sen
is
is
going.
getting bombs and rupees for Kakariko, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in Fat Keys. Like in a normal game, you can generally expect to find some bombs in Kakariko, but in a Fat Keys, you don't necessarily.
All right, so
This,
Jolo just went
okay.
into the castle for the
Yeah,
one in logic check. He got a
yeah,
Hera big key.
I love it.
Do you love it? I mean, it's a very Jolo move. Jolo is continuing the Jolo
Mm,
routing here, going to
probably
Eastern.
buying some bombs here. Yeah. This is great. It's fun. It's really fun to watch this. I like seeing divergence right off the get-go like this. I actually do myself. I rush over to Eastern area usually just for Saha, and if I don't find anything important there, I'll actually go ahead and dip Eastern.
Yeah. Sen got the flippers in Blind's Hut.
Flippers and Blinds Hut. No keys yet on Zen side, if I'm correct. So what's your preference when it comes to keys modes? Do you like finding keys early or items early?
I haven't thought about that in that way at all, actually.
What?
I personally don't really like AD keys.
Well, I mean
I,
that's fair.
I prefer my seeds to be a surprise when it's AD. It's like, surprise, it's AD, rather than going in knowingly that it's AD.
Okay.
But
Was that
it was the big key to Eastern.
okay. So
Yeah, I
so
guess I would prefer to find items over keys, I guess. Dark World access.
Interesting. I see. I'm a fan of finding all the keys early because then I feel
Okay.
like, okay, I don't have to double dip any dungeons at this point. I have all the keys. I could just go there, and as soon as I have the item combination for the dungeon, then I'll go in. But I guess that means it's more like playing a normal game and it's not really keys anymore, or it's what I mean. Like it's like if you have all the keys, then it's like, oh, well, now I'm just playing a vanilla AD game.
But that's sort of what you're hoping for, right? You want to be able to full clear the dungeon the first time, and that's even more rewarding in fad keys because it's so common that you have to like. So every time you avoid it, you feel like you gain time.
Absolutely. So Julo dipping Eastern here. Unfortunately for him, he does not have the big key. I get where he's thinking. He got the lamp, so he's going to be able to, get the in logic big key chest. But unfortunately for him, he's going to miss that Eastern big key that Zen got in Kakariko. I wonder how long it'll take for him to get over there, and I wonder if there's anything important. Oh my gosh!
Oh, wow.
Wow! So you get the big key in Kakariko. You just come to Eastern, and you can full clear this dungeon.
Yep. So Julie's not gonna get super punished by this move. He's gonna get punished in the sense he's gonna have to double dip Easton, but he's not gonna orphan something important in the big chest for long.
Right.
Because he will be able to come back and full clear this mandatory dungeon.
Exactly.
Sen gets the Moonpole on race game, and we also got a Cane of Samaria and a bottle. So does Sen go to South Shore now, perhaps? And I'm also thinking that the big key to Easton might be a detriment to Sen.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to just rush Easton now.
Right.
You want to wait for the bow.
Exactly.
So if I were to pick the scenario I wanted to be in here, I would pick Julo's scenario with a bow rather than the Eastern big key.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I mean that makes sense because Julo will make his way over to Kakariko, at some point. So
Exactly.
for him, it'll just be a no-brainer. Okay, let's go back to Eastern. Whenever I'm ready. But for Zen, he might put it off as long as possible until he can find a bow. So in Zen's case, it would be best if he found the other bow somewhere relatively soon.
That would be very good. We do have a second bow somewhere.
As long as it's not hard locked by another bow, then it will be in Zen's favor.
Last check in Eastern coming up here for Jolo, and it's 300 rupees. That's pretty nice. You got the Sora money.
A lot of early money, which is, I don't know. I feel like I never get a lot of early money in Fat Keys.
That is probably correct, because all those items in CAC are replaced with maps, compasses, keys, and other junk you normally don't see in CAC.
Yeah.
So I know several people who like to start a Houlihan in Fad Keys to just get the bombs, get the rupees. Makes for a smoother start, even though you lose some time to Houlihan.
Yeah, you risk also there being money and bombs like in a seed like this where it was easily available. This is oof.
And there's nothing in Nagina's cave, but it's out of the way, and Sen did scout a small key on Desert Ledge. Knowledge is sometimes power.
Sometimes
Sometimes too much knowledge puts you off.
That's fair. That is fair.
Curse of knowledge.
Ambrosia is like, boots hand, like then I'm beelining for that and making myself less efficient. And
yeah, that's a perfect example. And I don't think there was anything in Minimal on Cave. Big heart, maybe a bottle.
I think, was there like a big key to swamp or something? But that's not really anything.
Big swamp.
Yeah, big swamp. Kind of like Big Pharma.
Don't trust it.
Right? All right, well, there is Zora money for both of them. I wouldn't be too shocked to find some fake flippering. Well, real flippers for Zen, but fake flippering
Well,
Ooh, I
Jullo
don't
doesn't
know.
have
The Pearl.
Moon Pearl, so we'll have to orphan Waterfall Fairy if he chooses to go to Zora.
So, with that comment, I prefer to orphan Waterfall Fairy than like Zora itself and Zora Ledge. You know what I mean? Because like Waterfall Fairy is pretty quick to get once you have flippers, especially if you have like a flute, you just jump down, go to the portal. I mean, yeah, always, you know, anytime you double dip a dungeon or area, it's gonna cost time. But you know, it's worse if you go and check Zora Ledge and you can't get Zora or Zora Ledge and something's there and you have to come back later. That's a lot more time, I think.
It is. I don't know. I'm more. I would probably just save and quit personally if I couldn't do Waterfall Fairy.
That
Because
makes sense.
Zora isn't even in Logic without a glove yet, or flippers.
Yeah.
So I would just feel bad.
Case, yeah, absolutely.
But I think Jullo is going for the I'll do every check before CAC strat.
I mean, if he finds a flute out of it, that's a little bit of time save, right?
And the flute, you got a bottle, although there's a bottle in CAC.
Yeah.
And already gotten a little bit of payoff here with the bow in Eastern, honestly.
Yeah.
Which
I really
Zen is a
like
weird spot.
Zen Sprite having the Ultros on it when he swims. It's really good.
It is a good one.
Actually, can Jullo... No, Waterfall Fairy is still not going to work out without the Moon Pearl, right? Even if he splash leads?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Okay.
There is one way, which we can just mention. If you get hit by a Zora Fireball on the same frame you enter the Waterfall Fairy, you enter it in the long state, and you can...
Really?
But it is frame perfect, RNG dependent, and you're trying to do it while swimming at an exact speed. So
tough.
it's not something you do, but some people have done it by accident.
Well, Jullo is going to be missing a cape for a little while. Free blue potion and a hammer. Oh my.
Jeez.
Yikes. Okay.
Maximum punishments for
Yeah.
Jullo. But I don't think that's going to be orphaned for too long. It's probably Darkwood access, so it's an easy thing to get back to.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So even if it's Aga or a Hammer Glove for Darkworld, he's going to have to go to Waterfall Fairy. Zen, on the other hand, is going to have to make a choice now between Escape and Eastern area.
Yeah, there isn't much else over here, so I don't
Zen
know.
does not pick up Compass.
Well, there's not that much value, right? If this were McBoz, but
yeah, there's very little value to compasses.
I'm actually intrigued that Zen is choosing to go to Eastern before Escape.
Well, I think either or makes sense. Eastern is not in Logic, right? You don't have Lamp for Dark Cross. You don't got higher cost of Small Key for Zelda Cell and Boomerang Chest. So there's only one check plus the 2 checks at Uncle.
Right.
It's something you don't really think about that often, that you need a Small Key for higher castle for everything to be in Logic.
I think once he gets a lamp here, I think he will go ahead and dip Eastern.
I don't know.
Just because?
No. Thinking.
Oh, he thought about it. Well, he will be rewarded, and we will see what is in the mysterious big chest and on the Armos Knights.
Do you think he considered the fact that Jullo is 100% an Eastern Palace starter?
You know what?
I'm not going to get punished by Jullo's start here and just go Eastern.
That's fair. That could have been exactly what went on in his mind when he was debating saving and quitting.
It's also 5 checks You know, it's more than in a normal seed where you get 2, maybe 3,
Right.
without the bow.
Right.
And here it's so many checks.
Yeah. I think this makes perfect sense. And then add the factor of his opponent and.
I think
We
this
are almost-
also. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just my comment was so we're almost at bottle percent.
Almost at bottom percent. The most important percent.
Yes.
Well, so we are currently at only 1 check left in the light world that we haven't seen, and that's Dark Cross in Logic.
Right.
And also Armor's Knights, so 2 checks.
Yeah. Well, and the Eastern Big Check we haven't seen.
And these, okay, so 3 checks.
Yeah, which we will see 2 of those very soon here from Zen.
And after that, we have Aghanim access, so we have East Darkwood access. We can go into Pod. Have we found any Pod small keys? I don't think so.
We have found 1 pod, two pod smalls.
Okay, 2 pod smalls. So that's how many checks are that? 1, 2, 3, 5 checks we can get in Logic.
Yeah.
Plus we have hammers, so we can go to Hype Cave across the bridge after Aga. So, I mean, it's very likely used in Agaseed at this point.
Yeah, it's what it's looking like. Oh, hi, Ice Rod. But just a warning to you, Structural Mike. Whenever you ask me about logic and keys and how many checks are available, I am 100% just going to agree with it, whatever you're saying, because you're the expert.
I agree that you asked the logic questions and I'll answer to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I think this is looking very much like an Agaseed. I mean, who knows? There could just be a glove on Armos Knights, and that changes everything, or Dark Cross even.
Mm-hmm. But keeping in mind that you still have to do Aga in this game, in the seed, right? Since it is 80.
Right.
But the decision is easy.
I mean, it is, and it isn't, right? Like, if you can avoid Aga, like, and come back later when you know you have the boots in hand, because, like, not only is the dungeon faster with the boots, but then also, if something's on Lumberjack Ledge, then you have access to it. That's the only reason why putting off Castle Tower would be good if you have, like, regular Dark World access to begin with.
Absolutely. The problem is that sometimes you put it off for too long when that is the better play.
The better play, yep.
You get an easy Pyramid Ledge check. You got easy access to Pod here. It depends on what you have left to do, right?
Yeah.
So putting it off for too long is not always the answer.
Correct, yeah. And then, like, one thing that's different between FAD keys versus regular AD keys is, like, we know that the 2 chests in Castle Tower are going to be just keys. In regular AD keys, it's like, oh, I want to put it off, but there are 2 checks in there, so some people might be more inclined to go do it, considering those could be progression. All right, so I mean, this is nice for Zen, right? Because he's got Escape, Dark Cross, and if he doesn't find anything there, then he's right there to do a Death Warp and do Aga.
Absolutely. And do you think he will remember to release his fairy?
Oh, that is the key question.
Will both runners remember?
Now, he has... Is it just 1 fairy, or was the other bottle with the fairy too? I know there was the blue potion in one of them.
I know there's at least 1 fairy.
At least, yeah.
And there's Jolo with the Ice Rod in Eastern Big Chest as well.
Yeah, and you're right. Like, Jullo hasn't lost too much time here. He's almost to where Zen is. The main difference is, like you said, he orphaned that Waterfall Fairy. which has the cape and the hammer. So that is the actual Aga axis. So do you think he'll go back there before going to Dark Cross, or?
He's definitely doing Waterfall Fairy first. Julloninja loves to not check anything in Harrow Castle. It's a signature thing.
Awesome.
So we might not even see those checks before Aga from Jullo.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, he did already check that very first chest, right?
He checked the one in logic.
Yeah, and then
the other ones are dead without the smart key.
They're just pure dead. Got it.
Of course, Dark Cross is in logic, but you gotta go there. You gotta death warp. That is boring. Zen is gonna be thorough here and not leave anything to chance.
Yeah. I mean, this makes sense. You're already here. Just has he released the fairy? I don't think he has. Uh-oh.
And there he goes.
Feels bad.
Classic rando.
Mm-hmm. Check the other bottle. Okay, looks like the other one's empty. Good job, Zen. Hey, we've all been there, right? Like, who has not?
Have you ever done a double fairy revival?
Wait, Zen, you died, had a fairy, and then died again, had another fairy?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I'm sure I have. I feel like I have.
I'm not sure I've done that or seen it, but
I'll have to do it intentionally next time. Next time I'm on restream, catch a couple fairies and try to death warp twice.
Jullo got the cape and hammer. It's not gonna head straight for Aga probably.
Yeah, but see what I mean? Like, orphaning that Waterfall Fairy didn't actually take too long for him to go back there. Saved and quit. He's already back here in Escape.
Yeah.
So, like, he didn't lose much time with his play and his having to double dip Eastern. So,
yeah, so he's gaining time because he hasn't done Agina.
Right, Agina. Okay.
He's not going for Dark Cross. So even though he's done fewer checks, he's now going to pull ahead here for Zen.
Wow, really interesting. Yeah, it's very, very fun to watch how this is going. Now, Zen could be rewarded if, like, for example, he finds, like, let's say another pod small, or of course, like a progression item here.
Yeah. An ice pod small key is very ambiguous if it's going to be useful for anything.
Yeah, that doesn't really say a whole lot just yet.
No. It might not even be logically required to beat Seed.
Just a compass there, so looks like this will probably pay off for Julloninja. Dark Cross was empty, and these two checks here were both basically empty.
Compass to Hera behind Harrow Castle small key. What a logic chain, eh? Thrilling.
Yeah. I mean, wow. I've never seen anything like it.
All right, so while both runners are climbing Aga Tower, what is the next move afterwards? What would you do, Smirk?
What would I do? Well, there's not a whole lot you can do. I mean, I would probably rush to Hype Cave first before heading over to Pod. Just in case, like I said, you find a few more keys. Like, if you find a Pod small and a Pod big, for example, now you can do so much more in Pod. As opposed to the other way around, if you go to Pod first, and even if you find something juicy in Pod, like, you're orphaning a whole bunch of other things in Pod and forcing yourself to go back there. So I would say maximize my chances of being able to full clear Pod, or at least close to. That's what I would do. How about you?
It's unclear. With two Pod smalls, you can get all the checks that aren't 6 key locked. Right, so it doesn't feel too bad to go there.
Yeah, but you could do it slowly.
avoiding a double dip in pod is it's like avoiding death. So I don't know, but clearly
So-
going to hype cave is the safer option because it's just there. You're not orphaning things. It's probably what I would do, but I don't hate a pod dip at all. I think that's a legitimate choice here.
Okay.
You
Well,
got the
I mean-
bow.
Right, and there could be something on Pyramid Ledge that changes that, right? Like if you find the hook shot on Pyramid Ledge, for example, then now you can go to the left, the west Dark World.
And you might like if you find a mirror in pod, suddenly you would feel bad that you didn't do
That's
pod
true.
before hype cave.
That's very true.
But yeah, so I think both cases have merit in this instance.
Yeah, I mean, but that is the nature of rando, right? Like, it's guessing which one is going to be the most efficient. And Lucid Nimbus, double dipping pod comes from us all in the end, or comes for us all in the end. It is inevitable. Absolutely. I will say, a double dip of pod is one dungeon that I feel less unhappy about. Like, I feel like it's just, you know, like, it's like two separate sides, right? You go to the back to beat Helma, and you go to the left to do the rest of the dungeon. So, like, a double dip of pod is like one of the lower time losses, in my opinion, besides the walk over to it, which is a long walk.
Get the blind pyramid check for
Ooh.
heart piece.
A heart piece.
Jula has to make a decision. I have no idea what this Jula is gonna pick here. No prediction ability at all.
Yeah, it looks
like pod.
Yeah.
If you spawn the pod big in the front, you can just go kill Helmasar. Easy.
That's true. Never come back to pod again.
Yeah, you skip the entire back.
Yeah. Safest play. I'm actually, I'm really curious as to like what mysteries is pod holding today. And will Zen do the same thing? Stay tuned for it. No.
Zen also did a blind pyramid ledge check.
And also picked a piece too.
Yeah. Will Jolo remember the fairy for the Death Warp in pod?
Ooh, well, is he going to Death Warp, or is he just gonna like use the hammer and?
Oh yeah, if you just go all the way to the back, you.
Yeah, because you don't want to necessarily open the front door, right? So.
Well, you.
Just kidding. You do.
Wait, Jolo only has one key, whereas Zen has two.
Where did Zen find the other key?
It wasn't Agina.
Okay, there's Bombos in that chest of pot. Oh, big key to ice. And big key to TR. And a glove. Hooray. But nothing pod related, so... Yeah, that's... where was the other pod small? Was it in Dark Cross or something? We just missed it?
I don't know. I don't know what was in Dark Cross. I thought he had the two pod smalls before that. So, unclear where Zen found the second pod small.
Yeah.
And that's Easton and TR are the red crystals today. Good knowledge. Alright, so Julie's not going to check the back in this pod dip.
I was about to say, unless there's a small key to pod in pod.
But there isn't.
There isn't. So not much of anything here. There was what? A small key to Skullwoods.
Yeah.
and Bombos.
Yeah. We got two smalls for Ice Palace, got the big, we got Bombos, we got Flippers, we have Hammer, we got Cane.
You even have Cane of Samaria, yeah.
All we need
So-
now is for Mitz to show up.
Yeah. And depending on maybe Zen, I don't know. Does the second key to pod actually add any logical checks?
No,
No,
but
right?
you could go to the back, right?
Yeah, but because like, where does this like? What else do we have access to right now that like that is logic in logic?
We got back
mountain.
escape. Yep,
The
the mountain.
Oh yeah, and back of escape. Yep. Okay.
3
Yeah, I forgot
brand new
there was a
checks.
yeah.
All right, so we've been told in chat that the second pod small was in the dam. So Jolie never checked the dam either. So, all right, Zen gets pod big and a fire rod in back of escape, and that is probably going to send him to pod, perhaps, or up the mountain first.
I think I'd still go mountain.
Yeah. Now you want 3 pod smalls, so you can kill the
Mhm.
boss and go to the back on
Exactly.
your first trip. Get that legendary single dip pod.
Now, okay, do you with like so let's say he doesn't find any extra pod smalls here and he goes to pod. Do you go to the boss first or do you go to the back?
I'll go to the boss first, so I don't accidentally waste my key.
Really? Okay, see my
And-
tendency would be to go to the back because like it's so
Right.
early still, there's so much left to find, and you know, there could just be another pod small in the back, like there so often is.
Could be. Like I wouldn't go to pod now unless I could go to the back and the boss, right? So
Yeah.
but I would do the boss first because I don't have a mirror. I don't want to do a death warp. That's time consuming.
Now, what are the chances of like, can you lock yourself out somehow, like by going to the back of pod and using the key there?
No.
I don't think so, right?
No. That was the Swamp Palace compass that Sen didn't pick up on the game.
Well,
Useful information.
yeah. So, okay. See, now you're saying it with such a like serious tone that I'm like not actually sure if you're being serious. Like, are you being sarcastic or do the compasses actually matter?
So, in the key sanity,
Mhm.
in non-entrance, or when we have wild maps and compasses in non-entrance, they are logically required for the boss of the dungeon and the item on the boss.
Okay.
Yeah. It very rarely matters.
Okay. So
That's
only
it's-
required for the boss or for the dungeon itself, the crystal pickup of the dungeon
And the
Right.
item.
and the item. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Have you actually ever seen that like mean
No.
something? Okay.
Most commonly, like if you see a map on PED, for example, then you know that map leads to a crystal dungeon because it can't be a PED dungeon or a pendant dungeon.
Okay. Yeah, that's vaguely, very mildly useful information, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good find. That opens up the east or west dark world.
Spike Cave reveals the
Oh.
hook shot for Sen.
So did Glove, I guess.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Joel is taking that glove and going to the West Dark World instead, like
Mhm.
the divergent routing we experienced today.
Yeah, these guys have been like, with the exception of like, you know, okay, active required, like they've been just totally different mindsets about where to go. So very interesting.
So Zen has Hera big key, but not the small key.
Right.
Which is
Now-
great, because then you don't have to worry about what to do with the basement.
Yeah, it's just no basement required. Woohoo! Couldn't do it while you're there, you can never do it again.
Yeah, see ya.
All right, Powder and Quake. Now, what I'm noticing here is we have a lot of big keys already. We are missing what? The Mire big key, the Thieves Town big key, and the Desert big key?
Correct.
That's... See, this is like, how I was saying before, this is what I like. I like finding the keys first, because then you're more limited in the items you can go check and do. But you're less concerned about having to double dip dungeons. Whereas, Jullo is going into Thieves Town without the Thieves Town big key. This is another potential double dip scenario for him. But, he's been doing a great job at not necessarily having to double dip areas, right? He's choosing dungeons over areas.
Yeah, I understand. Like, it feels better to have the keys before the items.
But there was a small key to Thieves Town in Thieves Town, so that's always fun. I say that too, but like in terms of items, we're not missing a whole lot there either.
Sorry.
Go ahead. What?
I was just gonna say, what a gamer move from Jullo, releasing the fairy before the death warp.
Yep, he remembered.
What a pro.
Yeah, that's the true way to tell who's an expert or not.
Better than me.
Oh, wow. Baby. A mirror in Hera. That is a good find. Is this a jet seed? No.
Zen is certainly on a path here to find myths in swamp, maybe. Because you've got swamp access now, although no small key.
Yeah.
Only one check in logic.
That single arrow. Okay, so the mirror adds a lot to the efficiency of the West Dark World as well, right? You can check all the mirror things on the way there. But yeah, we're missing what? The myths, and flute, and possibly the boots, as far as items are concerned. And as far as keys are concerned, the 3 big keys listed earlier, as well as the Swamp Palace small key. That's all that's like hard required, right? Wait, what was that to tower? Was that the map or a small key to the Tower of Hera? Oh, jeez. All right, that's crystal number 2 for ZenArcane at 3645.
Very good. Map to Tower of Hera. Zen got one more check here on the mountain. Spiral Cave. So, Mossula in Skullwoods is a very locked down check, even though it's very easy to do. You need 3 small keys. You need a map, you need a compass. But we can still do it. It's fine.
Right. Yeah, logically, yeah, you need a whole bunch.
Alright, Zen is done with the mountain. Where to? Sank start.
Probably West Dark World, right? Like following where Jullo's going.
Yeah. Not rushing pod, not enough keys yet.
Yeah. He doesn't have that Skullwood small that was in pod, but he does have the big, and like you said, even though it's Skullwood's locked by a lot of keys, like you can still find ways around it.
Yeah, you don't need to find any keys to follow clear pod. Well, except the big, I guess.
Well,
And
yeah.
Jolly's doing a hammer moth here and has to watch out. This is not super easy.
Right. Fortunately, blue mail does help a little bit. Not versus
doesn't
the
do
spikes.
anything with the spikes, yeah.
Not the spikes, yeah, but it does from the moth itself and the fire.
And there it goes.
Very nicely done.
And that's a second crystal for Julloninja. We are tied in crystal count.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got that one just about a minute behind Zen. Yeah, I guess that's the third dungeon done too, right? Because Aga.
Absolutely.
No progression just yet, though. Over here in Skull, anyways.
A mushroom, though.
Well, fetch quest, woohoo!
Well, so this opens up a route where you can go check Gravel Edge, Bumper Edge, hand in the mushroom, and do catfish.
And did you see what that was in the big chest there?
No.
A small key to pod.
Oh, baby
Ooh.
pod.
Yeah. Pod is now starting to look a lot juicier. You have 3 small keys, the big key, like you're good.
Maybe just another small key. You know?
Yeah, another one would be best.
Maybe meet tomorrow.
Nah, just wait for all 6.
Alright, Zen gets the Hera map.
Now, do you think Jullo does fake powder at some point? Or probably... he doesn't have the mirror, so...
I don't know. I don't think anyone should do fake powder.
You don't think anybody should do fake powder? What? See, look, in this case, it could be worth. Like, I mean, the powder is available.
Like, maybe in 80 key sanity, if you already have the mirror and you're doing Smith chain.
Yeah.
But Jullo has neither of those things available.
So the mirror is saving Zen a little bit of time here. Doesn't have to worry about like death warping out of dungeons. He can just use the mirror to bounce back.
Nothing on Bumper Edge. Just 10 arrows. And Jullo is going eastwards, which can only mean catfish.
Catfish, yeah.
This is a walk. But
yeah,
Jullo doesn't have much left to do.
Right. I mean, he has the mountain, right?
Yeah, that's 2 checks.
Right.
Oh, 3 from his perspective.
Right.
You got Old Man, Spec Rock, and Spike Cave. So catfish isn't a bad option here.
Right.
And there Zen gets the 3rd crystal from Moth.
Do you think he dips Thieves Town or?
Unsure.
Yeah, he probably will, right? Check the front 4 and then continue south to like do
Would you?
45.
You got the mirror and cape. You got those mirror checks on the east side.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's true. He could just go.
I would
also
probably do
towards
those.
Catfish. Turtle Rock Small on Catfish. That could be actually pretty important.
Yeah, that's the 3rd Turtle Rock Small key for Julloninja, which is the amount you need.
Right.
There are 4 out there, but you need 3 minimum. And Zen is actually going to drop in. He doesn't have the small key that Jullo had.
Right.
So this will be a save and quit after clearing the front of Skullwoods. Which means he's going to end up on the pyramid after this.
Right. He might actually go to catfish as well then, and then take the hook shot to the left.
Maybe? Or pod?
Or maybe, yeah, maybe he just goes to pod with those 3.
Small key on mushroom is a Skullwood small key.
Skullwoods.
Okay.
And the mushroom was in Skullwoods, right? So the logic wanted to get it.
Funny. Alright, Sen is mirroring on the pyramid. It's gonna save and quit.
Okay.
We're not doing pod quite yet.
Nope.
Going straight back to Village of Outcast, I assume.
Oh, is this Dam and Nagina for Jullo? I forgot that he had skipped those earlier.
Interesting.
So that means he feels like he might have missed something over here.
Not going up the mountain is curious.
That's the other pod. Okay, yeah, I think we talked about that earlier.
Yep. Alright, but will Jullo do the frontal escape?
Did he just pick up the 20?
Sure did.
Nice.
Did he not do Sora?
He
Surely.
did.
Yeah.
He did Zora, yeah. He did. Agina, this is the only other thing he hasn't done besides, like going to the mountain.
So the current situation is, I think it's in Sen's favor, because Jullo hasn't found anything that makes his mountain trip now any different from Sen's.
Right. The only thing that right now I think is in potentially Jullo's favor is that Turtle Rock small key on Catfish. Depending on what Zen continues to find with the additional mirror hookshot and all that, like we could get in a situation where Zen just doesn't go to Catfish and has to like make a choice to go into Turtle Rock with only 2 keys. I mean, all of that also depends on where the other key is, but
Oh no. Sen is gonna go ahead and fake powder for us. No, the real powder.
no,
Sorry.
he has the real powder. Yeah, he got the
Oh
real
yeah.
powder.
Sen got the real powder. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
That was on the mountain.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in Paradox Cave. I think the one with 2 chests.
Understandable.
And Magic Bat has a map. Woo! To a dungeon we've already done. So you're saying that map, the powder was required, technically, to get that crystal?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. That's very interesting.
So, what's more interesting, maybe, is that in Key Sanity, following the logic strictly might just lead you down rabbit holes for maps and compasses that you don't need.
Oof.
Oof.
So
you gotta be on your guard to be too strict with following logic.
Yeah. It's like kind of makes you want to avoid logic at that point. Just do whatever.
It's a double-edged sword for sure.
Right. Balance in all things, right?
So in terms of checks we haven't seen, we have K45, 1 check in Swamp.
Yeah. And
technically the back of pod is in logic with 3 small keys if the big key isn't available. But it is available.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
It isn't.
Oh. Well, yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned that though, because I always get confused about like pod logic because that's so many keys. In my mind, it's always like 4s like one milestone and 6 is the other. But you're saying if there's no big key available, then 3 is actually back logic?
Well, so the way it works is that if you can't waste a key on the door to the boss,
Right.
you need one less key for the back. And in order to waste a key, you need hammer, you need lamp, you need a big key, and you need a bow. If one of those are missing, well, then you need one less key. Basically.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, because then you can't actually waste the small key there.
Yeah, but now we have everything, so.
Yeah, so
that's right. We got Graveyard Ledge as well as K45. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I wonder if this means he'll continue over to Catfish. I'm not sure. Humbug in chat is asking, you can still spend 3 keys without the big key and without going to the boss.
Tell him he's dreaming.
Humbug, you are dreaming. My expert knowledge on keys guarantees that that's a dream. I don't.
Oh wow, that's a flute for Zen on Graveyard Ledge.
That doesn't really open anything yet, right? It's nice,
Nope.
absolutely, but
it doesn't do anything for us. But it's going to be required at some point.
Yeah.
It's now isolated by Jullo, actually.
Isolated by Jullo, and this gives Zen a little more indication to go left again, to go activate the flute, and then maybe go to cave. Nope, just kidding.
Nope.
I lied.
Yeah, stop lying, Smirk.
Dang it.
I mean, this is as good chance as it gets to get to Catfish.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, look, when you've done Aga early, I feel like Catfish is never that far away, right? Like, you know, you accidentally save and quit in the Dark World, and you just do it.
This is closer, though, technically.
It is. Yeah, it is a little. And yeah, he's doing Mushroom on the way.
Yeah. And Jullo gets the mirror here in Tower Hera, and is now almost caught up on progression items. He's missing Flute. I think is the difference between the two runners.
Yeah, flutes, and in terms of progression, yeah, absolutely. And yes, with Zen going to Catfish here, getting that Turtle Rock small key. This is just the lead for Zen. I think, like there's no advantage that Jullo has currently. If I'm remembering correctly. Mike, are you saying you were wrong?
No.
Oh, okay.
Commentaries are never wrong.
Well, I'm glad, because I very confidently demanded Humbug to stop dreaming, based on your advice.
Yeah, Humbug should. Either way, Jullo is down with Hera. It's gonna check Spiral Cave, which was nothing, I think. And then gonna have to make a choice on what terrible check to check.
Yep. And thank you, Tharkus, in chat for pointing out that, some of the time difference here is also that Jullo did do some of pod already, and Zen hasn't gone to pod at all. So that's absolutely correct.
Yeah. Zen doesn't know that there's really nothing of value in logic in pod at the moment.
But what does he have left? Like this?
Well, we got Cave 45, yeah, and one check in Swamp.
And one check in Swamp. I mean, I think this is the pod play. I imagine we're gonna find pod small keys in the back, at least one.
Maybe there's a one pod small key in K45, and the back
And another
is progression.
in Swamp. That would be funny though if Swamp has one of those pod smalls and K45 has the other.
I mean, it's very possible at this point.
Yeah.
We're looking for myths, I think. That's the thing that opens up checks at this time.
Yeah, I mean, this could be one of those myths go mode. Well, no, I mean keys, but besides keys in terms of items.
Well, we need myths, Swamp small, Desert Admire big,
Thieves Town big.
Thieves Town big, a sword.
Yeah, another sword. And possible boots, right? Depending
Always
on-
possible boots, yeah.
Always possible boots.
A map to pod in pod.
Yeah. Sus.
So Jolo's going up.
Yeah, I think this is Graveyard Ledge. I mean, you know, to him, he's already done like the loop, right? He's done Thieves Town area and all that. So he, after finding this mirror, all he has is what? Graveyard Ledge and K45, because he's already been in pod.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this makes perfect sense for Jullo.
It's what I would do, because going to K45, you're gonna have to do the Swamp Dip afterwards. So you do Graveyard Ledge first.
Yeah, Graveyard Ledge. Go after he finds his flute, he'll be able to mirror and activate it and progress onward to K45
To find his pod small key to go back
find
to
the
pod. What about a vanilla small key to Swamp?
That would be
Hilarious.
That would be interesting. Yeah, and that would change things a lot too, right? Like Zen might put that off longer.
I mean, they are tied now.
Yeah.
They've done the same checks. Jullo, when he activates the flute, Zen is going to be in the back of pod. I know. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. So this is like they've been neck and neck basically. Despite the divergence, they've been pretty close the entire time. All right, and like you said earlier, you know, Zen is doing Helmasaur first, guaranteeing that he doesn't accidentally walk through a key door and loses a key.
Yeah, it's also slightly quicker. You do both sides straight into Helma. You don't have to do a couple of more room transitions later.
That's good for me to know because I've never actually known that. So I've just always just like, oh, it's the same amount of time. I'm just gonna do whatever I want first.
Yeah, it just feels slightly better coming from both sides. Like you get the bow, you get the big key. You know, in normal modes when it's not key sanity, you need to make sure that after you killed Helma, you have a key over for the front door, right?
Right.
Sometimes you do that move, and oh wait, I don't have a key now. I have to go both sides again.
Yeah.
So, gotta be careful.
And I would like to thank Trayspire for reminding us very accurately that Jullo has not done Hyrule Castle like Zen has. So neither Dark Cross nor the last two items in the front.
Yeah.
So that is another part of the time difference. But if Jullo manages to stay away from those checks, that's just time gained on Jullo's side because there was nothing there.
There's a small key to ice and a compass to somewhere. So
yeah,
very irrelevant.
Yep, because we got another Ice Palace small, so any advantage that could have been is gone.
I mean, did find that Skull was small, the third small on Helma.
That's where it was? Oh boy.
Yep.
All right, K45. This is a big check here too. Let's see what mysterious pod smallkey is here. Oh,
it's a thief's
oh,
big, maybe.
desert big.
Desert big. That doesn't
Still
mean
can't do
anything.
But it is required. It is required. So.
Okay, so we're down to the one checking swamp in logic.
And it looks like that's where Jullo is going.
Yep.
All right. Also, some important checks coming here on Zen's side. Back of pod, we haven't seen. 10 arrows. Heart piece.
Last check, that could potentially be in logic, and it's a sword.
Also, no indication. Wow. So swamp. It's got to be something here.
It's
right?
gotta be mitts in the first check in swamp, is my guess.
Mitts. Yeah, because even a pod small doesn't do anything really.
Exactly.
Or swamp small.
Yeah, mitts or swamp small. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
That's what we're doing now.
Or boots. We didn't think of boots.
What?
Okay, that gives us a couple more boots lock checks here. We got Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb available. Is that it?
Did they scout Lumberjack?
Yes, Zen did when he went to the mountain, and there was nothing there, I think.
Nothing in pod. Leaving 2 checks behind. Yes, and it's gonna go K45 now, and then just get the boots last like Jullo did.
Yeah,
and Jullo's doing escape.
Oh, okay. Not as much time lost because he has the boots for doing this, right?
Yeah, and the pyramid start. And you just mirror and do them, I guess.
Yep, and he's a mirror too, so you could just mirror instead of death warping.
I mean, you have to be in disbelief that this is the logic chain. Like, surely you just missed the myths in the castle, and you're way behind. It's not that stupid, right? And then you check it, and it is that stupid.
But hold on, hold on. Is this in logic though? Like, we haven't found a higher castle small.
And the dark cross is in logic, right? So.
Dark cross, but what Jullo's doing now is still not in logic, right?
No, this is not in logic. So, I mean, this is telling us all that Jullo is has some nerves going. If he's doing this check, from what I know of the way he routes.
Yeah. All right. Zen's gonna be finding his boots here soon.
Yeah. And they're gonna be tied, absolutely tied.
The only difference is the back of pod, right? Because that Master Sword is the only thing of note in the back of pod that Zen found, as far as I'm remembering. So that could make a difference. Like, so we'll probably see them both go rushing to Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb. Oh, and the fact that Zen has completed pod. Yes, thank you, Regardnock. That is actually true. That's very true as well.
So how do you route this? Do you just
I would go Dark World.
You commit to both checks? You don't just Bonk Rocks first?
I commit to King's Tomb here. Yeah. Because, like, if it's not in Bonk Rocks, then you just lose time. And
if you say quits from Swamp to Pyramid, and it's called Bonk Rocks. King's Tomb, sorry.
Yeah. Now
the pause.
Yep. Yeah, see, that's what Jullo's doing right here.
I mean, he gotta think, this is certainly just the myths here, right? And then you plan for what to do with the myths, and then it's not the myths, and you go, wait, what? What does this even do for me now?
Oh my gosh, I've never known you could do it that way. The way that Jullo just did with the boots, you can just bonk those rocks.
Yep.
Wow, I've always gone like through the bushes.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah.
There
it is in King's Tomb. See, punished if you just did bonk rocks. I mean, Bonk Rocks may still have something, but there is our logic chain, our progression. You had to go to that first check in Swamp, get the boots, that locks the mitts. But you did still need the mirror, right? So you still had to go to Hera and do all that fun stuff. Which, is, after analyzing it a bit, it makes this seed relatively linear because this is kind of a choke point. Like, there isn't a whole lot else that you're gonna do.
No, most people get funneled to boots as a last location, or close to.
Like, unless you're Shinmaru, right? I could see Shin doing that.
All right, you called out Shinmaru, which is another player in the tournament.
Yes.
Joel is checking a lumberjack blind for a heart piece. All right, so okay, Smirk, you just found mitts in King's Tomb.
Oh, you absolutely go to Mire and Desert area. I guess ice is really calling. I mean, you have clear ice, right? So that's probably what you should do. But
you don't go to TR?
Wait, what? TR? No, you save that for last, homie. TR sucks.
Okay, fair enough. Plus, I think I would do what Joel is doing here. I would go straight to ice.
Yeah, I think this is the correct, you're thinking, you're doing things right. I think this is the correct play, is Ice Palace. But I would personally go to Mire first, even though I don't have the Mire big, even though I don't have a Desert small. Like, I go.
Yeah. So both runners in Ice Palace, same time, the same progression. Zen has a Helmosaurus kill in his bag, so is technically ahead by, I would say, a couple of minutes.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Even more if Joel ends up clearing the back of Pod in the end game.
Right, yeah.
But that might never happen.
It might not.
Pod smalls might be go mode. We don't know.
We don't know. And, the difference there would be, if there's a sword requirement situation, which I highly doubt it. It's Fat Keys, right? Fat Keys, there's never a sword requirement, is there?
That is a good point, though. Like, Zen is up a sword in Ice Palace, which can mean something.
Yeah.
And for the upcoming Bitchius fight, and it could be good for Zen. Unless there's another sword.
Well, even then, I mean, a tempered sword versus master sword does speed things up still.
True. That's a desert compass.
See, so the game, so there's that. Yeah, they wanted you to do Ice Palace first, so they're following the
the compass logic.
Yeah. There's the Desert Small as well. So see, this is the right play. This is the right thing to do. Ice Palace first, because you increase the chances of making your Mire area visit more efficient, right? Instead of having to go back there again.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what would you possibly find in Mire and or desert area, or Mire area and or desert, that would do anything better for Ice Palace? Like, you have everything for ice.
Yeah, we even have half magic in Bombos, so Cold Stare is not even hard.
Right.
It's not even complicated on Fire Sword if you choose to just mash
Fire
Rod.
Absolutely. So I'm glad that both players had the sound of mind to go ahead and just do ice first. It just that's the perfectly sensible play. And yes, Swamp Small here in Ice Palace. Was it here in Ice Tea Room, I believe?
Oh, that makes interesting decision making coming up.
Absolutely. Like, do you go back to Swamp now, or do you go to Desert? Desert is full clearable as well.
I mean, we have the myths, so why would you ever go to Swamp again?
I mean, technically the mitts were in Swamp again, right? The boots were hard blocking those mitts, so
yeah,
mitts in Swamp, the meme stays live.
I know. So Swamp is awkward because of left side Swamp. Obviously, it's a time-consuming deck. So my area first, probably.
Oh,
We can
a little bit
full
of
clear
freeze
desert.
here. I think we're
Coldstone
gonna
is
miss
exploding for a long time.
Yeah, we're gonna miss what item Julo got here on the boss, I believe. I think it froze a bit, but maybe we'll see what it with Zane or with Zen.
Is that Australian internet? Has to travel too far?
What would you do, Mike? Would you go to Mire area or would you go to Swamp?
100% Mire area. I can full clear
100%.
desert.
Well, so I would have gone to Mire area before, right? So I would be 100% going to Swamp.
Right. And Jolo is going to Swamp.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what do we need? We need Thieves Town big and Mire big, right? That's it. We're just those two big keys from go. Julo
Yeah.
needs a sword,
You're right.
which there's always a sword in Swamp as well. And that actually could be what's impacting him to do Swamp, right? Like, no, not that there's always a sword in Swamp, but like, you know, Vitreous is a little bit annoying with the fighter sword.
Yeah. I mean, I think the case for Swamp first is that you don't want to dip Mire without the big key. Maybe it's just there in Swamp.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Looks like Zen is doing the same thing.
I'm actually surprised that both runners did this before
too.
checking Mire area. But
Yeah. But again, it's the same concept as the Ice Palace, right? Like, it's a full clearable crystal dungeon. You still have 2 items you're looking for. And you increase the chances of making the Mire Desert a single trip instead of 2.
So I'm thinking, actually, our pendants are Mire and 2 more unknowns.
Right.
We might have GT access, right?
Oh, wow.
If Mire, Swamp, and Thieves Town are pendants.
Oh. Yeah, Thieves Town, Mire, and Swamp. Well, we know Swamp is a pendant because Julo. It shows on screen.
Yeah.
Thieves Town is a pendant, yeah. Oh, wow.
And then we're down to, well, are the big keys to those 2 dungeons just going to be in GT?
Yeah, it could very well be. Somebody, oh my gosh, you're absolutely right.
So then I understand this move even more, because then you just go Swamp. Because you were unsure before going Swamp if it was a crystal or not.
Right. Matt
now
was
you know.
Yeah.
And then you clear desert. If that's a pendant, you're not in GT mode. But if it's a crystal, suddenly you are in GT mode. And
yeah.
just go there.
And then you choose between Turtle Rock or Mire area and all that. Scary. So, do you think, Mike and chat, who thinks the Mire and or Thieves Town big key is in GT? Nobody.
I'm gonna wait until we know that desert is a crystal or not.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So the vergence here is Zen is going straight left side Swamp with no hesitation. Joel is going straight for the boss, no hesitation. Which is exactly what you would expect from these runners.
No hesitation, yeah.
Both runners think the other one is doing the risky play. I mean, it's true. Like, not doing left side is risky. Doing it is risky. So.
Well, the question is, does Julo go back?
I can't believe he will, right?
Just a permanent skip?
Yes. What would you feel after last locating boots in first chest in Swamp?
I mean, that's a pretty reasonable last locate.
But did you feel confident in your route before that, or was it
right?
Did you leave your mirror on the mountain for a while?
Right. Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah. In Julo shoes, I think I might also skip left side.
That was a very nice final stage of the Argus fight. Well, Zen found silvers in left side swamp. That almost pays for itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially if swords are gonna be tricky. Like, here's a scenario that came to mind. What if you go to Meyer area and you get go mode there? You get, both the remaining big keys and
In my shed.
Yeah, something like right? Okay, yeah, something like that. Well, now Zen is completely in go mode with silvers in hand. That's safe. You don't need to check anything. You're not looking for a sword, anything. In Jullo's case, you would still be looking for a sword at least, So we'll see.
Absolutely.
Here's Meyer Shed now.
There's one big key.
You sound big. Uh-oh.
Well, we're definitely in GT mode now.
Yeah, one of those, either Desert or Thieves Town, is guaranteed to be a crystal. Oh, there's that mysterious missing small key. And it's Turtle Rock!
Convenient.
But yeah, the point about that whole, what if you find go mode here, besides the sword, Zen also has the silvers, right? So, you could be looking at a Master Sword Ganon, and with silvers in hand, that, definitely speeds things up a lot.
Small key on Desert Torch.
Is pod.
And wait, am I seeing this right? Do we have 0 GT small keys? I think so.
Whoa, I totally forgot. GT small things are a thing.
Yeah, we do need some of those. Preferably, you want 2 of them. You can get away with 1.
That is, that didn't even cross my mind this entire game. There's one, all right. Desert holding all the small key goods.
All right, easy.
All right, so, post boots, the seed has been relatively linear. There's been, chances to make a little bit of diversions. Like for me, right, like I said, I would have come to Meyer area first. I would have had that Thieves Town big. I probably would have gone to Thieves Town even before Ice Palace. But
yeah, that's fair.
But for the most part, if you're playing more actual rationally, you're gonna go do Ice Palace and then Swamp, and it's been linear since then at that point, right? So after this, you obviously go to Thieves Town, because you have the full 4 items in the back you can get there, which could contain a Meyer big key, at which you do Meyer, then you go to TR, and then you go beat the game, right? But the only thing that could be different is if, like you said, GT mode, right? If the big key to Meyer is in GT, that could shake things up a little bit.
It could be. So very, very well could just be in GT.
And another small key, probably to Pod. Oh, Meyer. That's our first Meyer small.
Okay. And it is a pendant desert, meaning Thieves Town is the remaining crystal for us. But at this point, I have to assume we're going straight for Thieves. Nope.
Well, I don't think Jullo did checkerboard cave, did he?
Alright, yeah, checkerboard cave, straight for Thieves, then do TR.
Yeah.
Look at that. Beautiful
You
cycle.
You jinxed it. You said it just slightly early enough.
Alright. Zen did that boss fight prior to checking the front of desert. Is he gonna leave
Do you think he rushes Thieves down here?
I don't know.
That would
mean,
mean missing out on a GT small, but there are extra now. He looks like he's going back here.
I think he knows he wants a GT small, and Maya Big might just be here. But I don't know. I think it would be a rational decision to just rush TR here as well, missing only one thing for Go mode.
Well, you mean like after Thieves, though, right? Like still do Thieves first.
Yeah, but skipping the front of Desert would be okay, I think. Especially with Sword and Silvers at hand.
Yeah. Question in chat. ZenArcane is using Symphonia. Oh, thank you, Shin, for pointing out Tales of Symphonia. Well, if the GT small keys were not on Zen's mind at this point, finding one, I'm sure, puts it on his mind. It's like, oh yeah, those are required too. What just happened? Right. Looks like we're back thank you so much to T Sigma for helping us out here recovering the restream. And thank you everybody for your patience while we investigated and corrected the situation. Looks like there wasn't a whole lot of note in Town. I believe a shield of some kind. Julloninja is in pod right now. Did he find a master sword somewhere? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jullo found the master sword in back pod.
Or he just did. Yeah. Okay.
So big deal coming up here because Jullo got an extra key. And it's apparently going to check Harmless Hellway.
Yeah, it could be something.
Oh, no, wait. He's checked Harmless Hellway. He's going to kill the boss, right? Probably.
The door
and
looked closed. Oh, he did not do the hammer jump. Okay.
Alright, so Zen is now ready for TR, as well as Jullo is ready for TR. After this.
After the boss. Right?
After the boss kill. Yeah. Keep forgetting.
Yeah, so Jullo is basically just behind by a Helmsor fight, or like going to the back, fighting Helmsor. That. Otherwise, so they have basically the same thing.
So between the runners, they've done pretty much the same checks, and unless Zen is going back to pod at some point for 2 checks, Zen is comfortably in the lead here because he can do the same things. There's not a whole lot of room for divergence here.
No, not at this point. And the other main advantage for Zen is that the silver arrows, speeds things up just enough, to make things easier.
Yeah, I think the big thing would be if Jullo decides that Meyer Big Key is not in GT and does everything else before that, and it turns out to be the correct solution. Because we have stuff like Smith Chain, and we you can dip Meyer.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That is 100% correct.
But surely Jullo is just gonna go to TR and GT, right?
Surely. I mean, all right, this is good here on the way to TR, checking, Hookshot Cave. Finding a book, a mysterious, annoying book. Ooh.
Beautiful book.
Beautiful book, okay, all right.
I like the green. I don't like following the book, but...
you like having it just for the green?
Yeah, it's a good book. It can stay in the pocket. You can check Ether tablet before GT now, which is fine.
Yeah, it's it's a thing that's there. Do you though, or do you like check GT first and then? Nah, yeah, you do it first if you're still missing stuff.
I feel that doesn't matter.
But I mean, here's the thing: the Meyer Big could just be chilling here in TR, right? We have what 10 items or something in here.
It's an incountable number of items in TR.
An incountable number, okay.
Uncountable, an infinite number.
Infinite checks in total, 12. That's what it is.
All right, yeah, that's too many for me.
Yeah, because coming in here with all the keys, it could be in any of these checks. Like, there's a tempting part of me that was like, nah, just like rush through TR and go to the boss and go to GT, but that's probably silly, right?
I mean, I've thought about that sometimes. Rush, Lazy Bridge, and the boss, and then like you saved specifically these 2 torches checks for after the boss if you still had on tab Meyer Big Key.
That's reasonable.
Is it? I've never done it, but I think about it every time. And that's the second Meyer small. Beautiful.
Humbug. Uncountable infinities. Monkus.
Yeah. Humbug is the resident math teacher.
Wait, is Humbug actually a math teacher?
Yes, so he
Oh.
would know about the uncountable infinities going on in TR.
Yeah. There's the expert.
Now, is Jullo gonna rush TR before Hookshot Cave?
There wasn't anything in there in Hookshot Cave, right?
There was a book? Don't
Right,
you
the book.
remember, Smirk?
No, that item gets deleted from my brain like instantly.
All right, so that saves Jullo some time if the Maya Big Key is here in TR.
Yeah, absolutely.
Potentially. But he might just check it anyway for a sword, honestly. Like, if you unmask the sword and no silvers.
Yeah, that's fair. So unless there's 2 swords and Meyer Big here in TR, he'll probably go back to it, right?
And you can see what's happening here on the other side. He's going straight for...
He's doing it! He's doing
middle.
it! You're right! He didn't
Yeah.
do the Firelock side.
Yeah. I mean, it sort of makes sense. Because it's slow checks. You have to go through the dungeon anyway. Why not wait with these slow checks? But is he gonna skip lava chests and mimic? Like,
Ooh.
how much can you skip, Jullo?
Yeah. Wow, that was like directly talking to him.
I like when runners have different strategies that are not just what everyone else does. It makes for a more interesting game. And he is skipping lava chests. We're gonna skip big chests as well, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
This is...
He is go-moding Turtle Rock, basically. Like, just,
Yeah.
you know, checking only very much on the way things. Skipping Mimic. Yeah. Mimic Cave is slow, you know?
Yeah, this makes, in some ways, sense. You're gonna have to clear GT basement anywhere. Put your money on that Meyer is there. If it's not, you find Meyer Big in Meyer, probably. So...
In Meyer, huh?
Yeah, it's second home.
Oh
Or,
boy.
Hera basement
small.
Yellow is building up a lot of risk here.
He is, but if it pays off, like this is deep play.
He's in the lead, unless he isn't. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
You're not skipping Laser Bridge, at least. Okay.
Nah, Laser Bridge is way too dense to skip.
Oh, finally Armus is in logic. Oh, Joel is taking some dangerous falls here.
Yeah, having a little trouble with the skips.
Mapped Skullwoods. Is every map and compass just here in TR?
There's another GT small.
That is good news for Jullo. You want to have 2 to full clear. If you only have 1, you have to skip map chests.
Good use of the powder there to recover some health before going into this fight. Master Sword Trinex usually means Hammer Trinex.
Ooh. Sun is getting these chests a little bit smoother. It's gaining back some time that Jullo overtook him with earlier.
Yeah, so the question is, does Jullo just rush a GT here? We know that besides the book, there isn't anything in Hookshot Cave, and nothing else in the chest that Zen checked in Turtle Rock.
But Hookshot Cave is so dense, right? You...
Yeah, I would do at least that, right? On the way to GT.
You got Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny. I mean, surely. And there goes Trinex for Jullo. Thank you, Half Magic, for not ruining our night by your presence.
Yeah,
making Trinex easier.
Yes, yes. So according to ZenArcane in chat, we have about a 30 seconds difference between the two runners right now. As long as Jullo skips Hookshot Cave. If he doesn't skip Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny, then okay, yeah. So we may actually be. How long does it take, Mike? 30 seconds to do Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave?
Or
It takes more.
I would say, yeah, you gotta run back out after this. It's a fair bit of time.
Okay.
Well, not more than a minute, but more than 30.
Yeah. Yep. As we're seeing,
I think
Zen
so. Yeah, go ahead.
Zen's heading to GT right now, and we see numbers in chat. So the GT Big Key guessing game. If you want to put in numbers in chat to guess where the GT Big Key is in this mode, we do know that GT Big Key is in GT. You can also take a stab at the Meyer Big Key if you think it's in GT.
So in this mode with key sanity. Oh wait, Zen is checking.
Ether tablet. Oh, these guys keep switching back and forth.
Oh no, Jullo is actually going to enter before Jullo. Jullo is going to enter before
no.
Zen.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, with this dead rock, maybe. The stairs are. It's the same time. Oh nope, Jullo's doing the mirror thing too.
Okay.
Looks like.
Okay.
That would have been hilarious. They would have been going into GT at the exact same time.
Yeah, I was gonna say with 2 keys in key sanity, you have to do Compass Room first because you need that small key.
Oh well.
Well, never mind.
Now you don't.
Well, I would assume that Jullo does Compass Room first as well, because otherwise you risk locking yourself out.
With 3 keys, you do still?
No,
or?
with 2 keys, but with 3 keys, it's fine.
Yeah, so does he mirror and just go left here? No.
No. This is going to be a super close race. It has been for a while.
Tempered Sword. That will definitely help out for Jullo without those silvers.
Absolutely. And there's the mirror from Zen. Gonna go left side now.
Do you think Jullo goes full right?
Surely not. No, you can't. Not with 2. Well, you got 3 keys now, so.
Oh, and there's
Who
another
knows?
one on the
There's
torch.
another one.
So 2 small keys there. Wow, okay. 5 small keys in hand here on Zen's side.
Yeah. I mean, if this was me, I would be praying for a GT big key in tile room, just so I wouldn't have to worry about should I full clear my the basement from my big.
I see what you're meaning. Yeah.
I don't want that decision at the end game.
Well, there's a Meyer small key. That's promising.
Oh, now a big key can just be in my basement now. Okay, good.
Oh gosh. Oh, big key to this dungeon. We got the big key. That was what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? 12. Did anybody guess 12? Yes, we have Watakas with the guess of 12. Congratulations, Watakas. You are the GTB key guessing game winner today. All right, now for the Meyer key, which could be anywhere at this point.
Yep. That's a desert map.
So now deserts and logic.
Yep.
21 seconds difference between. Thank you, ZenArcane, for telling us the time differences between the two.
Big question is, do you do the tile room check?
No, I do the climb, man. Screw tile room.
It is 45 seconds of misery.
I think. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, Zen has been playing safer, right? No, not skipping anything. Not really. So I could see Zen doing it, but I
The
could
odds
also
of it
see
being in tile
Jullo.
room is so small. You got the entire Mire to
There's a
check.
lot left. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like an uncountable amount of checks in Mire.
Uncountable.
Yep.
Oh boy. All right, we are at Ice Armos now with Zen. Silver Arrows making this nice and quick. And it looks Mirror out already, ready to... Do you think he does tile room here, or...?
I don't know.
So, okay, do you think it's crossed Zen's mind at all, like, that, like, Jullo might not have silvers?
No.
Like, it... Oh?
Oh, he's
There was a mirror.
mirroring!
Tile room! Oh!
Oh, God.
This is depend. I mean, of course, everything depends on if Jullo also does or does not do the same thing.
Oh, this could be the game right here. But no, Joel is
Nope,
also
Jullo
doing
is
it.
also doing tile room. I am shocked. I will laugh though if it is here. Like, I mean, what?
Yeah, but
I
as
highly
you're saying,
doubt
I don't think Zen is thinking at all about silvers at this point. Honestly.
I mean, like, okay, really? Okay. So, do you not think about silvers much?
Right.
I knew it! I knew it! I was like, shovel. I wonder if they find the shovel and when do they go do that? Oh
no,
boy.
I wouldn't start thinking about silvers until I find my big key. As I said, because I'm way too stressed. I am too stressed right now to think about silvers.
That's
I'm
fair.
not even raising this.
That's fair. And honestly, with the tempered sword in hand, like silvers no longer saves that much more time, right? It saves a little bit here on these like mimics.
Yeah.
You know, saved a little bit on Ice Armo, stuff like that, but
I would say overall, because silvers was left side swamp, Zenith lost time
right.
to them, right? Not
Right,
as
'cause
much
that's
as if left side swamp was empty, but it's still slower to check than what you save from having them.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes a lot of sense.
Someone else can do the breakdown there in exact seconds.
I mean, the thing is, okay, so you found the silvers before doing things like Vitreous and, you know, Ice Armos and, you know, some of the things where silvers, you know, definitely save some time. So, like, if you got to consider all of these different things that silvers has saved time on and how much do they save versus regular arrows.
Yeah.
Which is too many factors for me, an uncountable amount of factors.
And with temper, they save less time.
Yeah.
And that's a nice Lambo kill.
Yeah, and a nice usage of the shield there to block that hit. So great job, Zen.
Jules, however, got half magic and will be able to get a one cycle landmark as well.
This is crazy. I mean, if the Mire Big Key is just here on the climb,
I hope it is.
then this race is so close, right? Like,
it's super close.
Now
after
if
this,
the Mire...
yeah, go ahead.
You go ahead.
after the climb, we have the possibility for divergence again.
Yes,
but
that's when. Then it's
I-
it's just an ice rod, a true ice rod hunt.
Yeah, but I would say 9 out of 10 runners who go to Mire.
Really?
No? What is it, like 8 checks? 6? I don't know.
6,
Yeah.
6 without the big key. Yeah, 6.
What are you gonna do? Smith chain? Come on.
I mean, no, you never do Smith chain. I mean, but like shovel
Shovel.
and
I
a
don't know,
Bombo's
man.
tablet.
No, you can do shovel, or you gotta do bombs. You get sucked into shit.
No, I see what you're saying. That is very fair. And we do not have the Mire big key on the climb. So, yeah. I mean, Mire. Wait. So, are you saying the play was actually to do Mire while you were there at Desert? Like, if the big key is there, you could have dipped Mire early and just like beat it.
Surely no one would do that.
And then you would go mode all of this stuff. All of this GT stuff, this TR, that was all go modable if that's the case.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm putting my money more on like which is sad, but like Smith chain. It's sad. Maybe book or shovel, but I'm thinking Smith chain. Vortex in chat. I mean, it happens every once in a while, right?
Sure does. I don't know. Like the nerves are high. Like the stress is
absolutely.
running wild right now. You have no idea what you're gonna do. You just do things. It's like, oh, apparently I'm checking shovel now.
Yeah.
Or something.
Things just happen.
You find yourself going back to pod for some reason. Like you don't know what's
Right.
gonna happen.
Well, that's a good point you brought up. Like going back to pod or whatever. Like Jullo has a lot of stuff in TR, right? He like go mode TR. So
that's dead to Jullo.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that would be a last location as well. But that is an option that he has.
Yeah. And Zen is going straight for Mire. We have the
Called it.
keys. Without the 3 small keys, less incentive. But there's a bunch of checks you can do.
So you're saying because of the 3 small keys. Now, have we paid attention? Do we have the map and compass?
We don't know. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean anything, because that's just a boss.
Oh, right.
Jullo's
Yeah, that's
checking shovel, though.
Jullo's checking shovel. Oh my gosh.
If that's the answer, this is game over.
Yeah. There's too much time in Mire to even if like Zen full clears Mire or what he can, but
It's
that
not
is
the
not the
answer.
answer. Oh dear.
Yeah, this is still anyone's race, because nope, we're going Smith chain.
But
Alright.
again, this is the same concept. Like, if anything that Jullo is doing before going to Mire is the answer, that's basically game, right? Because unless Zen rushes that thing.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, if the big key is here in Mire, then that's also basically game for Zen. Like Jullo,
Yeah.
at this point is too far behind if the key is just here.
Both of these plays, perfectly valid. I don't even know what I would have done. Probably gone Mire, like Sen. And
there it is. Big key to this dungeon. In the Mire map chest, you could have done that before going to TR and gotten to go mode, all of it. That's insane. Unfortunately, I do think that this is basically GG's for Jullo, right? Like, by the time he's done doing the chain, he still have to go through and do all these things in Mire to find that key.
All Sen has to do now is kill Vitreous, saving quit to the pyramid, drop down, do the last fight with Ganon, and the seed.
Yep.
Not much can go wrong now. We got all the safeties.
Yeah, we have everything, including bottle percent, which I forgot to keep track of.
Oh no.
I pointed it out when we had 3, but when we got 4, I don't know.
too much was going on by then.
Yeah.
We got boots in swamp. You know, it was
Yeah,
weird.
it
It
was
was weird
just-
times.
So I think Zen, I think Zen probably feels okay here.
No.
No? Why not? Like, okay,
Would you?
you full clear GT, and you go directly to Meyer, which is that's where the big key was, right? Like his other option was doing other things, like Smith Chain, like treating it like an ice rod hunt or whatever.
Sure.
So
And you
he
don't
made the
regret.
right call. He made the right choice, right? He even skipped cutscene chest. Like, you know what I mean? I think.
Yeah, but no, you full cleared so much. Your last location boots. Sure,
I mean,
everyone does it, but I don't know. I wouldn't feel good.
you wouldn't feel good.
What about your moves in this seed would make you feel good? What did you skip that was so good? Smith Chain?
Yeah, that's a pretty good feeling. I
That's
don't
the
know.
only thing, and you don't know if your opponents did that, because surely they just went to Meyer, right? They could have even done that before GT. You don't know.
That's okay. All right, you're right. Zen
And-
made, very traditional, correct plays, if that
Oh,
makes
geez.
sense.
Yeah, and Jullo is committing to this, not Meyer, which is
Oh,
fair
yes.
enough. Like if you don't do it immediately, you're committing to it to be. You're not.
So
You're saying it's not in Meyer.
It's not there, yeah.
Yeah, but Zen is on the stage 3 of the Ganon fight now.
Yeah, I
Let's see,
went
where's
through
the
those
hand?
first three real quick. Very nice. Got the torch glitch and stopped him. Almost got a triple hit there, and this should be it. And get your GGs in chat for ZenArcane. All he has is that last little cross the bridge to finish the game here. GG's ZenArcane.
GG's.
And there it is, with an official race time of 1:50:29. That puts them at a 1-1 record. As you remember from the beginning, Julloninja beat ZenArcane last time, and in this time, Zen beat Julloninja. So they are both 1-1 in Group V. GG's to ZenArcane.
That was a very exciting race.
Absolutely. It was neck and neck the entire way. Jullo made some really fantastic skips there in TR, which caught him up, and they were just neck and neck. Oh, and we are joined by ZenArcane in the booth. GG's Zen.
Yo, thank you so much. GG's.
How you feeling?
I'm not speaking to Swamp Palace for those boots. I'm not speaking to Meyer. I have words for Meyer. Homewrecker, I'm sorry, but no, Meyer's dead to me.
And welcome Julloninja as well. GG's, Jullo.
GG's.
Yo, GG's, Jullo.
Yeah, GG's, guys. Thanks for a fun seed to watch. And maybe not so stress-free to play, but we sure had a time here in the commentary booth. So thank you for that.
Yeah, that was some seed.
I've got a main question. Did any of you think that there's a universe that anyone would not last locate the boots?
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Jolo?
I mean, I thought about it, but there's a slim chance someone might do it. I just got mirror so late that it was sort of last location anyway.
Yeah, we were talking about it, how the boots there, locking the mitts, basically turned it into kind of a choke point in the seed. Like, you guys diverged a lot, and that was really entertaining for us to watch. But we were always trying to keep tabs on how close you were throughout the whole thing, and you were pretty close despite all the divergence. And then you hit that choke point, and there was a couple differences here and there, and Jullo making that brave play to semi-Gomo TR kind of put you ahead of Zen going into GT by like 20, 30 seconds or something like that, and then at that point it was just like who finds the Meyer Big Key. It turned into a true ice rod hunt after GT, right? So how did you guys feel about that part of it? Having like such a linear seed and then like these choke points and then opening up and then choking down again.
I mean, I saw a universe where, when you're going to desert and I might as well just check Meyer in here just in case. And I saw that scenario and I'm like, I gotta rush back to Meyer just in case Jullo did that.
I mean, I could see an argument for not rushing back to Meyer in case someone had done that, and that might be your reasoning, Jullo. That's why you didn't bet on Meyer.
Yeah, I was sort of like, does he do Meyer? I'm like, but he won't do Smith Chain and this other crash checks. Let me do that instead, because this is the worst possible outcome.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't work out in this time. So.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where like if your opponent did Meyer before going to TR and GT, then if the big key was there, you would probably expect to see a finish time coming a lot sooner, right? So that makes me feel like, oh gosh, it's probably not in Meyer. Like I probably would have gone Jullo's route, which is like going to Smith Chain and doing some other things first, assuming that I would have been wrong, but but like that scenario that Zen mentioned, doing Meyer first, like taking a look into Meyer, like gosh, that probably puts nerves, like on where you at. Like, what if my opponent did, but just like a little later, and we kept trying to guess what you were thinking. That's basically what I'm saying.
If I didn't get a GT small out of desert, I was probably going into Meyer.
Wow.
I was so concerned about not having GT smalls that I was like, they can't all be in GT. The game is not this rigged. So one of them has to be outside. And I was gonna find it.
Well, I think if you had done that you would have been handsomely rewarded. This seed was just like, here you go. And there were what, 2 keys in GT? 2 GT smalls?
Yep.
Yeah. And was that something you were thinking about too, Zen? Because like for me, I was not even thinking about it. I was like, Mike made a point at some point. He's like, am I seeing this correctly? 0 GT smalls, and then
Yeah, I said to Jullo in the room, I was like, at one point I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just Meyer Big Goat. Wait, I have 0 GT smalls? That never happens. Wait, what's going on here? And I think I would have been on the same lines, not getting, that's pretty much the reason why I finished clearing desert as well. As I was looking for a GT small along with the Meyer Big. And it's probably the same reasoning as Jullo. If I didn't find, a GT small there, I probably would have gone in, at least looking for one.
well, that's really heads up of you guys, and like I mean, I wasn't thinking about it at all, but like once you found that key, I was like, oh yeah, GT smalls, yeah, there it is. But yeah, did you guys have any other thoughts about the seed? About things you were thinking about as you were playing and making decisions?
I want the game to stop punishing me for not going to Kakariko first.
Do you guys have any more scheduled games in the group stages at this point, or is that still on the planning stage?
Yeah, I have a doubleheader on Sunday against Barnage, and then Keebs next week, Tuesday and Thursday.
I have Keebs on Saturday and Sunday, and me and Barnage are trying to get ours sorted, but we're sort of slow rolling it. But it'll be, during US times rather than European times, I suppose.
Yeah, like your group is still up in the air of who's gonna grab those 2 slots for the bracket stage. So I'm excited to see how that plays out for you all. In terms of what's coming up on SpeedGaming, we got Penny Royal Oil versus Rail and Tanker in 2 hours on SG2. And then a few hours after that, we got Nilsson Alex 92 versus TJ Joel, also on SpeedGaming 2. And then we got more races throughout the night. So tune in. I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye out for those races. And I just wanted to make sure to say thank you to Julloninja and ZenArcane for giving us a really entertaining race to watch. Thank you so much. And be sure, chat, to give these guys a follow. They've definitely got more races coming up in the groups, and keep an eye on them because they're both strong contenders for making it through groups and going on into the main tournament bracket stages. And thanks, Mike, for commentating with me today. And thank you, Keith, for doing the tracking.
All right. And with that, have a nice, continuous 1st of May, everyone. And see you in the next race.